It's another episode. It's Date with Danu. It's time that we sit, talk, and come to know more people. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a musical evening. And also, I have someone who is going to handle the legality of this show. All this today.
Hi, I'm super excited. I'm Sohan. Today is the date with Danu, and I'm warning you, be careful.
Careful about me?
No, about Danu.
Oh, Danu. I am Ranil of Black. They call me Kalu Ranil. So Danu has absolutely some or the other cornered me into coming into this. This is my first appearance here and I'm super excited too.
Welcome. Today I have Ranil. It's a name that's quite used these days. And we have Sohan. He's also a lawyer, by the way. Yeah. You can stop yourself from being sued.
Right.
Yeah.
Can be useful sometimes.
It can be. Sohan, you're looking dapper today, Sohan.
Thank you so much. I was trying to outdo you, that's how.
Whose phone is that? Sohan, what's
mine.
the point of you dressing up, Sohan, if you're just...
I'll knock it
Tell
off.
your girlfriends to just wait. No,
Sorry,
answer and
sorry.
finish. Who is it? Hello?
I'll call you back later. I'm at a show.
Say what show it is.
Date with Danu.
Good. Now put it on silent.
Okay.
Now we'll continue. Ranil, thank you for being on the show. Ranil and I go way back in time. He was working in advertising at the time when I got to know him. And we used to bump into each other quite often. Literally now we are bumping off each other. Actually more bouncing off each other.
Exactly.
Ranil, tell me, why did you start a band and then call it a black band?
Actually, I had no plans of calling it Black. Neither did I have an idea of starting a band. And it was just
Did
a
you ever
hobby.
think you can sing when you're growing up?
I still think I can't sing.
Good, fine. Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. it's okay.
I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
So with the little singing I can do, I make do.
Okay.
I'm very good at reading people, so...
You understand the vibe and you go with it, yeah. You're not there to hit the highest note like Mariah.
No. I'm not here to compete.
Yeah, true. It's useless. So tell me, what sort of took you into this? Because you're doing this full time now. And
Yes.
it takes a lot of your
Remember
time.
that, huh?
Yeah. And it takes a lot of your time, especially I think it takes more of your time than going for a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, so we used to play at the clubs and the pubs and, you know, I don't know whether I can mention names, but and slowly everybody started appreciating us and then we played at a wedding and then we became branded as a wedding band. And weddings are very lucrative. They pay well, they pay on time, unlike corporates, they pay on time. Sohan is laughing. So, and also it's every day, everybody thinks it's the same thing every day. No, it's not. People are different, the crowd in front of you is different.
Yeah. Have you ever played for the same groom or the bride again?
Of course, yes.
Ah.
Oh, yes. I'll tell you some
It's a
interesting
very
stories.
lucrative business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I don't give them,
You
buy
don't
one,
act
get
as if
one
you were
free.
there.
I don't do buy.
No, then you will be poor. Yeah, but you've had a few of those.
Yes, I played for, I can't mention names.
No,
of
don't
course.
mention names.
But there's this instant where I played for a wedding. The groom, it was the second wedding. I played for the first one too. Then we became very good friends and he said I have to do the toast. So I took the champagne glass and I said, here we go again. And everybody started laughing.
And good, because if he has seen you as a bad omen, he might have not booked you for the second time.
I know.
Yeah.
But there are people who think black, why black?
Yeah, it's okay, man. They don't know your heart, no. It's as white can be. All right, so Sohan,
Yes.
are you done experimenting these days?
Yeah, now I hit upon the correct formula,
And which is what?
which is doing more entertaining work abroad
Than here.
than here.
Yeah, they pay in dollars at least. No, you
Exactly.
become a national asset to our country.
Right.
Yeah. So how have your tours been? You were in London.
Yes, I was in London. I did 4 big dances, the Pete Wright dance, the Josephian dance, 31st night, and the Old Ben's dance. And I'm
Right.
going this year to...
You did all the saints. Benedictines, Pete Wright.
Yes,
and
Josephian, and also 31st night.
Okay.
This year too, I have 3 shows in London. Plus I'm going to Australia. I might do 31st night this time in Australia. Then I have 6 shows in the USA in June. So life has been good.
Yeah.
So
It's nice to be busy, right?
Yes, and we meet so many interesting people. You get to travel, and as you said, the foreign exchange is coming very, very useful now.
Yeah, true.
That's why I like you.
Yeah.
Ranil likes people who brings in
Oh,
dollars.
definitely, definitely. All right. And introduce your friend, will you? It's quite strange that you all are friends. I asked him. He said he has only been at for your weddings and all.
And we bump into each other at Curve, at all the pubs. We have, similar interests.
They both like curves.
Who doesn't?
Hi, I'm Thishya, jack of all trade, master of none, and annoyer of everyone. I'm excited to go on this date with Danu. I've watched a few of the previous videos of Danu's program. I find them entertaining and sometimes irritating, but nonetheless, let's see what this date turns out to be.
And now we have Thishya Weragoda.
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 Yes.
I said it like that, but with an accent.
Thank you.
It's always good that way. Thank you for being here. So your friendship
for
with
having
Ranil
me.
is very special. Yeah.
Yep. I think the first time I met him was in 2011 or so at a wedding. He was performing at one of my friend's sister's wedding, so thankfully they're still together.
You're right.
And I proposed the toast at that
Wedding.
I think, or at the homecoming, I can't remember.
Right.
Either way, yeah. So since then we've been running into each other at weddings. Sometimes I cover weddings as a photographer.
Ah, okay.
And then we, as he said, we see each other at Curve quite often.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sohan had the reason behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true possibly.
Yeah, I'm not denying it. So now let's speak about the... You have been quite involved in many things socially. Your social media is quite active. Tell me, do you feel that Sri Lanka got the answer that they need?
Well, I would say Sri Lanka continues to get what they deserve. So in the sense, whether it's right or wrong, the country gets the leaders what they deserve and the results what they deserve. So as long as we don't keep on fighting to protect our rights, we will continue to get what we deserve.
And currently, are we on a good track?
Legally, I would say may, but we are getting there in some ways and we are not
In some ways.
in some ways.
Got you. So, Sohan.
Yeah.
You know, when I first had you on Date with Danu,
Yeah,
I think 4 days from there, your wife passed away.
that's right.
And the show aired on the same day of the funeral, and I
Yes.
didn't even know about it. How has life been from there? Living alone,
Yeah,
managing alone?
Yeah, it's not been easy, but my son is a great help. He's constantly with me, and then my daughter calls me from New York, checks on me. So it keeps me going. It was very tough at the beginning, but then life has to go on. So I got more and more involved in my music, in my creations, and the worst thing is boredom. So thanks to things like Netflix, I was able to manage. But now I'm quite okay. I mean, I put everything behind. This is life, So it's never permanent.
Correct.
Everything
But it's-
changes.
Yeah. But I know especially how close you all were. And
Right.
you come from a family that expresses love a lot.
Right.
So it's hard when you have to reserve those emotions. I totally understand. I'm happy that you're keeping yourself busy and seeing
Yes.
the world in a different way, and you're young again
Right.
in many ways than one. So you have worked with so many musicians, but how are they with you?
I'm Sohan is smiling. I'm a bit of a
Rebel.
rebel, and I'm not. They don't consider me. Sohan has been always a. When you ask me who would you like to have on this program, first name I came to me was Sohan.
Actually, you were the
because-
second, but it's okay.
Okay. Yes, you're the second. Okay. And so first name was mine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm not from my parents were not famous musicians, or I don't have any relationship with any musicians or anything. So I was in advertising, and I used to sing. And I don't hang out with musicians as such.
Yeah.
I don't belong to an association.
Yeah, you don't do
or-
the scales every day in the morning, none of those. Yeah.
And I made it to this level purely on making sure my band sticks together. For the past 22 years, I've only had 3 changes in my band.
That's amazing.
And in the last 1 year, I had 2. So that's amazing. And same way, he had his band for so many years.
Yeah.
So it's how you treat your people and how you.
And after a long time, you had a female voice coming in.
Yes, my first female vocalist came in only in 2014.
Yeah, because I've had you before on my musical show those days, which Charit, who produces this show, used to produce.
Yes.
Yeah, and I still remember.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Yes. And there was this one guy who used to always sing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I am considered a black sheep in the music, because I speak my mind out. And I don't, now there's this association for musicians, I don't want to mention names, but I am the first one to get out of it because I can't deal with the politics and,
Yeah, it's a Western music.
Yeah, he's there because he thinks he needs to do something for the musicians. But from maybe when I get to, to that level of success, not age.
That's what I was pointing.
That level of success, maybe I would become a bit more calmer. And right now I can't take that.
Brilliant. We'll get into a break. When we do come back on the other side, we have a fun game and it's called Hot Seat. Welcome back to the show, and I'm going to start with Ranil as a senior citizen here. Right. If you were double booked and you were to recommend another wedding band instead of yours, who from the following would you recommend? Misty with Rachita Weerasinghe, Kurumba with Dushyant Veeraman, 242 with Billy Fernando.
Misty with Rajita.
Second question. If you were to wake up next to Sohan in bed one morning, what would you do?
Run as fast as possible.
That's really rude, right, Sohan?
You never trust Ranil. Any Ranil for that matter.
If not for the bandana, what else would you bring in as a style feature?
Nothing, because this is not a style feature. This is just to stop my sweat falling into my eyes and forgetting, not being able to read the lyrics. A lot of people think it's a style feature.
Right.
Very boring answer though.
Yes, I know. How black is your black?
Darkest as possible.
Who, in your opinion, is a better performer? Umaria, Romain Willis, Natasha Ratnayaka?
Natasha Ratnayaka.
Sohan.
Performer.
Yes. Sohan, to you. One of you will walk away with a gift bag from Crystal Luxury Wellness that can bring out the inner glow out. I said glow. Sohan, describe your sex life in one word.
Refreshing.
Judy De Silva, Corinne Almeida, Maria Silgunatilaka, who did you have a soft spot for back in the days, and who do you still have a soft spot for?
I have a soft spot for all three. Even now. Yeah.
Soft spot.
It's not getting harder, no?
No.
Then it's a soft spot. Describe your fashion sense in one word.
Laid back.
How is this laid back?
Exactly.
How
This
in
is
the world is this laid
This
back?
is like an exception. I was trying to outdo you. Because this is Danu's show and everybody's dressed up. And normally laid back.
Laid back, okay. If you were given a chance to sing for King Charles' coronation, what singular song would you choose to sing? And,
Api Kauruda. Who are we?
Name one thing you think you will find in Noeline Haunter's bedroom.
Her handbag. He does everything other than her bed.
How Sohan knows this?
Huh?
How Sohan knows
Oh,
this
that's
is
a
the biggest
secret.
question.
That's
Did you try searching for the bed there in the
no,
handbag?
no, but everybody says that her handbag is so big, it has everything. She used to do these shows for different TV companies. So in one she's a newsreader, and one she's a singer. So everything possible was in her handbag. So it's a huge handbag, makeup, everything was there. So
And
she
you were
was
also there?
literally dressed in the car.
Sohan seems to know a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we stop that from there and get to something else? Okay.
Now to you, sir. If you were to cast for a Sri Lankan production on Tintin, who from the following would you pick to play Tintin? Captain Haddock, Thompson and Thompson. Snowy as well. Maithripala Sirisena, Mervyn Silva, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Geetha Kumarasinghe, Chandimal Jayasinghe, Pushpika De Silva. Let's start with Snowy.
I wonder whether I'd get sued if I say Mervyn.
It's a Mervyn. Okay, done. He can be Snowy. Thompson and Thompson, you have to name two.
Maithripala Sirisena and... No, I've
Mervyn is
picked
already
him.
Snowy.
I've already picked him as Snowy.
You have Geetha Kumarasinghe, Chandimal Jayasinghe, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Pushpika De Silva.
And... Pushpika?
Okay. Captain?
Geetha.
Tintin.
Ranjan.
Excellent. If you could bring back one president back to the parliament, who would you pick? GR, MR, CBK, Ranasinghe Premadas.
Neither? No one. Sorry, it can't be neither. No one.
One quality about yourself that you would love but think others hate.
Being outspoken.
If you were to wake up one day and have the executive power to make a ruling in one pressing social issue, which matter from the following would you choose? LGBTQI rights, child abuse, pro-choice movement.
Child abuse.
If you were stranded on an island with Pumi Hansamali and a bottle of alcohol, what would you do?
Drink it all by myself and pass out.
I must say he is the winner.
Yeah.
I think you're the winner. I'm going to
Me?
give this to you, yeah.
Whoa.
Can I
Yeah.
be the
You can. That
honest?
how you all share and how you all rub the cream on each other is not my problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all can look pretty. Sohan, it's okay, Sohan.
It's perfect.
I will deliver something personal for you.
Right.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
Why am I being left out?
Okay, no, y'all are going to share, no?
No. He's going to take it.
Huh.
He's going to share it with Pumi Hansen.
I pass Sohan's house literally every day.
Almost, yes.
Yeah. Every day I have no choice. I can't escape that turn. It's always there.
Have you visited his studio?
No.
You should.
Oh.
Because everybody calls their gym studio and all this. He virtually has a studio with a gym inside.
I actually go to the gym opposite his. That's his brother's
IOP.
gym.
Yeah.
I don't go there. The gym is always there.
Have you seen his fancy cars?
I have seen. Yeah.
Living
Now, I wanted to ask, how is the wedding scene these days?
Good, actually. And contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, the IMF actually, the day that the IMF was passed, you won't believe, up till that moment, we used to get like 2 to 3 inquiries for the next year. Just like the stocks went up. The very day that IMF was passed, and there was huge howl that we are going to get this loan. We had like 6, 7 bookings. Everybody is like very confident. They can get some
Spend.
loan and do the wedding.
Spend. What is your take on that? A lot of people who take loans and eventually, like, do you ask them, like, are you all okay to pay, or you don't get into
No,
that?
the thing is this. See, who are we to judge? It's my biggest day. Some of the girls who come as brides to talk to me about the wedding, they have actually had virtually dreams about how their wedding has to be from when they are like 10 or 11 or 12. I mean, you can.
Blame it on Disney.
Huh?
Blame it on
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, and there's always this fairy tale wedding, just like he said, and he's been a wedding photographer too.
And a divorce lawyer.
Moonlights, and you
And
understand.
a divorce
that.
lawyer. That's a great combination. You go for the wedding, you take the pictures, then you plan. They'll come to me. And you give the card saying, call me.
එහෙම කරන්න බෑ.
And-
You're not
and-
You
allowed
don't
to
have a
do
card,
that.
no? Yeah.
And also, there are times when I am on stage and I look at this couple and think they might not make it to the next year, but I've been proven wrong. Some of them are still good friends.
That's amazing.
Can I add something to that? I feel some of the weddings are over glamorized, and they could, when it comes to weddings, they just don't seem to bother about the expenses. They always overspend. And with the economic situation in Sri Lanka, I just feel the amount of money they spend on things like flowers and all that is absolutely excessive. When you consider the situation in Sri Lanka and how some people are suffering, I would love to see weddings being
Economically
termed
done.
down.
On the other side,
okay, go
let's say I work my, I don't know whether I can use
You can
my,
say booty out.
I can, my bottom off,
Yeah.
right? And I work hard. I have one daughter and I want to spend on her. It's my right to do
Two
so.
sides of the story,
Yeah. Deaf. Nobody wanted to spend on me. That's a
Now
different story.
You wear this coat. I think you deserve to wear this and be on this seat because you have worked hard.
Yeah.
And Sohan has worked hard all his life.
Yeah.
He can drive his car. It's like somebody turning around and telling me that I drive this car, make a petrol bonone, why are you doing this? So come on. I worked hard and I deserve some thing, you know.
Definitely. We have another game and it's called Yes or No after this. So this game is very simple. You all have an answering board. Just show what you think. And if you feel that you need to explain the answer, you can do so. You walk away with a gift box from Coke. Alrighty, here we go. Your question number 1. Have you ever offered to complete a task for someone else in exchange for something specific from them? No? Yes, okay. Yes. You are saying no?
No.
Have you ever gotten scolded by your significant other in front of your friends? Have you ever dirty danced at a club? Sohan, show it straight. This way.
That way.
Yeah. No. Do you lie?
You know why?
Why?
It's because both of us are always on stage. He's always on the dance floor.
Do you lie about your age to seem younger to others? Yes. No.
I have?
I don't know, I'm asking.
What was the question again?
Have you ever lied about your age to seem younger to others?
No, no way.
Because I'm young, I don't need to lie. Have you ever experimented with the same sex? I actually expected a yes from you. How do you think there is more than one right answer to a question? Do you think there is more than one right answer to a question? Okay. Is it possible to be in love with two people at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whoa. Is it better to give than receive? You already asked me in what term.
In any term.
Okay. Do you struggle with your confidence? No. Have you ever created a fake social media account? Well done. Congratulations.
And the Coke goes to
Sohan.
He's excited.
Yeah.
the Coke Zero is good for me.
Yeah, it's good for you. Sorry, Ranil.
Nah, that's fine.
You know what?
I'm
you can,
sharing mine.
and you
Your
can
share
also
with him,
share
right?
with this with Ranil.
Yeah, no worries.
He'll give you the box. Let's get into a break. We'll see you right after. Okay, so this craze for Tintin, and you had a birthday party recently which had all types of Tintin. Did you all get people to dress up and come?
Not exactly, but
Theme was
everything.
Tintin.
Theme was Tintin.
And
yeah.
you celebrated your
40th.
40th.
Hatali.
Yes, 40th one. Tell me about this love for Tintin. Do you have the complete collection?
The books, yeah.
Okay.
I remember early 90s. My dad used to give me pocket money, $10 a day or something. I used to save it up, and when I get to 150, he would put the balance 50 and buy me a book.
Okay.
So
Now
it
it's
was
like in the thousands.
2,400.
Yeah.
So somewhere down the line, I had the whole collection, but then someone stole it.
What?
The whole set of books.
Who?
I have no idea.
Because I also-
No, not a Ranil. But then I didn't buy them back, but I was quite disappointed that they were
Yes.
lost.
Where did you leave it?
At home. So possibly someone borrowed them, didn't return it.
These were the genuine...
The original Methuen books.
Or the...
Methuen.
Huh?
Mammoth or Methuen, I can't remember.
Okay.
One of them. But then in 2005 or 6, I went to Bruges, Belgium, and then I saw a replica of the unicorn. It was 600 euros, if I remember right. Of course, that was a lot of money because my entire 6-week backpacking trip was 1,500 euros, so I was not going to spend 600 on it. But that's the first time I knew that there were collectibles. Took a whole heap of photos of it, came back. And then in 2016, I went to Bruges again. And in one of the shops, I saw the broken ear, the canoe. So I bought that. And that was the start of this new craze. And since then, I've collected a massive amount of Tintin memorabilia, including I've got about 4 1 in 250s. So the Captain Haddock and Red Rackham, not Captain Haddock, Sir Francis Haddock and Red Rackham fighting.
You don't have the book still.
I do have the books, but they are all the new publications, so they don't really collect the same
value. Of course.
But I also do have the 1979 Christmas edition of the there's something called the museum collection.
Right.
I have a personally autographed Herge book which I got.
Oh wow.
That's something that I have not heard of. What's that?
Yeah, so it's called the museum collection, Museum of Imagination, and that's basically Tintin, Captain Haddock, all of them walking along a passage with all these items around. So the memorabilia came out recently as well. I've got except 2 of them. There's about 25 pieces. I've got everything except 2. Which I've ordered. I'm just waiting. It's quite expensive to bring them down now. So there is the book of this whole collection as well. That was published in 1979. I bought one online at an auction, which is autographed by Herge personally.
Tell him about
Don't ask how much it costs.
Tell him about the travels.
If you want able to play Captain Haddock,
You're there.
Yeah. Mr.
Tell him about the
Barnacles.
travels that you do.
Yeah, so I've been to quite a few of the places where
They are
in
located,
Tintin
yeah.
they're located. So the pyramids, Eiffel Tower, Kathmandu, Petra.
He takes a selfie with that.
And then you compare it with the moment.
Yeah,
of
so I've done a few posts like that as well.
Destination mode.
Except, well, of course, with a certain Sri Lankan, we might be able to. But yeah, I don't want to try that because I might not come back.
Yeah, true. You might be lost there. Do you have a hobby?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, collecting snapshots of models. Yeah, female models.
Yeah.
I have a whole lot. If you come home, you can have a look.
So how come you don't have his photo?
No, but I'm just
I said
really
female
worried.
models.
I'm quite worried about this. Means you find them where? Like from Playboy magazine and things like that?
From various places. As long as it's interesting, I have them in my house, all over the place, in my studio.
But seriously, you should go to his place. Huh? His room is
Full of models.
no, it's a walk through
Memory
history of Sri Lankan music, entertainment industry. It's
And
a
models.
It's a museum.
Yeah.
Yes, from little batches of shows that he has done or somebody has done to everything.
You should drop by now. One of
I
these
will,
days.
for sure.
And the coffee is free.
Yeah. I'm worried after the models. We have a segment and it's called Kinke. All right, here's your chance to win these exciting gift bags full of all amazing goodies from our friends at Midnight Divas. Right? Here is your question. What is the sexiest, raunchiest thing someone could say in bed?
You're asking me or you're asking all three of us?
All three of you.
You are the most interesting guy I ever met. Why are you laughing? Why is he laughing?
That is if you're in bed with me.
Oh my gosh. Can you rephrase that question? Please rephrase that question.
So I shall answer that.
Let me just read the question out again.
Okay.
What is the sexiest thing someone could say to you in bed?
For me, it's true what they say.
It's black.
No, once you go black, you never go back.
Ah, sorry. Right?
Isn't that?
I'll be the judge after I hear every line, but right now Sohan is leading. I was already in bed with him.
No, but
Do I get to pass?
No.
Can you come back to me later then?
Sohan, do you have another answer?
No.
That's it.
I don't quite know what to say. Yeah, I'm plain vanilla.
Okay, it's a tight twist between Ranil and I think
that's the only question.
yeah, that's the only question. I think Sohan won this as well.
There you are.
Congratulations, Sohan. I don't know who you'll use it with, but
He invited you.
But he said that he has a collection of...
models.
It might come in useful.
And he
Yeah.
invited him.
Ah, yes, he invited you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drop in anytime. Coffee is free.
creep. See you after this. With such open-minded people, we need to get into some deep questions with Dish the Dirt. All right, so this segment is all about speaking about the things that are quite relevant. Now, the Aragalaya time was quite a historical moment in Sri Lanka. Do you feel the purpose of the Aragalaya was fulfilled? As somebody, all of you, we all love this country so much and we want the best for it. What are your opinions on that? You start.
first, okay?
Yeah, you have been quite vocal about it as
Yes, so I would say in one sense, yes, because the people actually felt that they need some sort of change, that the state was not hearing them. And it became so loud, within 2 days of the protest starting, the entire cabinet resigned. So that is because they started feeling it. Of course, that led to a president resigning, which is something unheard of, so on and so forth. Some of the problems have been resolved, but also it has led to some other problems cropping up as to how now there are steps to prevent that sort of uprising ever happening again. So those are things which the struggle has to continue to fight against.
Do you think this uprise, if the cabinet had not resigned, do you think this uprise will still continue?
Well, you mean last year?
Yes.
So I would say that the protests would have continued irrespective. I mean, the protests continued for over 3 months. So irrespective until the desired change came about. But I do not know whether that desired change was just to get rid of some people or whether it is to change the systematic mechanism through which the state is run. So whether that was eventually achieved, I do not know, and I can't really comment on it. But I believe that the struggle is something that would have to go on. If you look at it, human rights were not something that was achieved overnight. From the Magna Carta in 1215 or somewhere there, people have given up their lives to get to where we are now. And I would say every day we fight in the Supreme Court on fundamental rights to ensure that those rights are progressed. So that would continue, I would say, irrespective of the Aragalaya or whoever the rulers, because rulers always try to suppress the people to a level where they can manage it. And unless in a true democracy where rulers actually hear the people is achieved, there would always be transgressions against which we have to fight.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought when the Aragalaya started, it was a real grassroots movement where all the people felt they needed a change. But as time went by, it became highly politicized, different parties coming in, and the whole perception changed. And then nobody knew who was really leading it. This led to a lot of misconceptions. At the end of the day, it had the good side where we got rid of people who we thought not suitable for the country, but I'm not sure whether who we got would do a better job at the end, because it's still a long process to go. But I feel whatever happens, I think we should preserve democracy. And I think the people's true minds should be able to be heard. Whoever comes into power, irrespective of who is in power, I think the people's legitimate rights have to be heard.
My take on that is, for as I'm not a legally savvy person like that, but for me as a normal citizen, the way I saw it is this: the Aragalaya actually started when people's basic needs were getting scarce.
Harder to achieve.
That is why everybody who actually stayed at home and said, these guys are protesting,
Eventually
ended up coming. Like me, I would never go to a protest march. But when I didn't have gas at my house, in Sinhala they say, Mage persakata tattu ennakotta, everybody came out. Because their children were hungry and all. Then after that, when the changes started happening, see, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Right now, everybody is praising the current president because the gas shortage is being met, fuel shortage. So he's riding a wave. And everybody, because that's the basic needs. Now basic needs are met, then slowly the other needs have to be also be met, like what he said. But like he said, it won't happen overnight. So if you are thinking of another Aragalaya to get those needs, I don't think they will get the same support as that.
Right.
If you notice the storming of the president's house, people like even I would have gone with that rush because we were so angry. But when there's no fundamental rights, when there's no democracy happening, how many people will get angry?
Absolutely.
And in a world where we are living right now, do you think, because we are losing so much of talent from this country, with over 3 million people who have settled down, like we have lost close to 3 million people over the years, I'm not talking about in the last few months. But tell me, is it a good sign of what we are seeing today? Or do you think it will stop at one point, from a legal point of view?
So the brain drain is something that will always happen. And people do see Sri Lanka as not so much as a failed state in the sense of some of the African countries that we try to compare. But I think that will always happen. People will move to other countries. But that does not necessarily mean that we are going to lose the entire talent pool. Yes, we might have a drop in it, but like for example, they say that several thousand doctors have left in the past couple of years. But we would also keep on getting doctors coming into the system who would keep the system afloat. So we might not have the same level, but
we'll have
we
something.
will eventually get there. And if our standards keep on rising up, some of those people, maybe just some of them, would decide, I don't know whether they'd come back, but at least people who contemplate leaving now might stop contemplating that.
Let's get into a break. We'll see you right after. Welcome back to the show. It's our final segment on Date with Danu, in conversation with these three vibrant men. Now, tell me, we have had some talent looking out to other avenues to go take their music, make their talent known a little bit. What has been your take, Ranil?
Okay. Just like me, we were talking about you said the day you found out I can sing, I said I still can't sing. But the day I found out that I'm a good entertainer and I can talk to people, mix my music with that. The same way, a lot of new talent have found out that they can do their music, but if they have a bigger talent in social media marketing. So they have got that together and they have become superstars overnight. The problem that we have right now is event promoters think 2 billion viewers or 2 million subscribers is good enough to put that person into a stage.
Make them
It
entertain
fails,
the people.
but it fails because they look good in a 7-inch screen, but they perform horribly bad on stage. You understand what I'm talking about?
You need to know how to keep the people going.
Exactly.
We have so many.
And you need to sing. You need to sing.
We have so many bands coming up, Sohan. But up to now, people, like for example, how many years has it been that you have been in the trade?
Oh,
you are
40
still
years.
being called.
Yeah.
What is that magic? What is it that keeps you ticking?
As Ranil says, one thing is you have to evolve with the people. You cannot be the same. You have to keep always evolving. And good thing is how you interact with the audience is very important. Feeling their pulse and changing your music to soothe. You can't force your music down their throats. You got to great extent play what they want, and more than anything, entertain them. You can be the most fabulous singer but be boring. So entertain them, crack a few jokes on stage. Make sure they are with you. After that, you can do anything and they'll lap it up. But one of the most important things I realized is connecting with the audience is very important, and how you call out your songs. You can call out your good songs at the wrong time, as Ranil would tell you. Now he's successful mainly because he knows
How to
call what songs at what time, because that's now you can't start a wedding with 6-8
true.
songs. You know, there's a time to play the bailas. I mean, maybe after dinner when people have had drinks. So it's how, and that whole thing depends very much on the band leader. That's why the bands that are popular today, a lot of the glory must go to the band leader, because he calls the shots ultimately. Because if you mess that up, you mess up the whole band.
And also, see, we both, Experiments, Black, even Rajita's, Misty, Doctor, we are not concert bands. And we have successful because we know that, and we have never gone into that and tried to be backing up artists.
And all. You all are performers.
Yeah.
You all entertain people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as a rule, I don't back artists unless, they are artists who we sing their songs. Now, I will never charge extra to sing. If I sing Sohan songs, we call it Sohan Aya. So we go, right? But I will never charge if he's coming to a concert, because we sing his songs. In that case, then we'll have to pay him every time I sing his song.
And
Also, the thing is, you can sound fabulous at recording,
but you can never perform
but
live.
a live performance is something totally different. Danu, I realize that. However nice you sound at recording, because some people use a lot of gimmicks and stuff like that. But when you really have to perform,
Can I add
it's a different story.
To take a parallel from the music industry, as both of them said, I wish politicians understood the very same thing. Just because you're good on a couple of minutes TV show doesn't make you a good politician to become someone big and run an entire country.
Rule a whole area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And how is do we have a rise in divorce cases?
We do. Unfortunately or fortunately, I do not know.
Are people divorcing for the right causes?
Well, that's not for us to judge at the end of the day, but people are divorcing for various reasons. And now I think our generation is more expressive of their needs and wants. So they are more amenable to the idea of being alone. So single parenting, co-parenting, whatever that works for them, works for them. And they're more concerned with their mental satisfaction and their emotional needs than the generations before, I would say.
Now my parents are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary in June.
Bless them.
But I divorced just after 18 years of marriage. But we are still okay with it.
Danu, I can add something to that. In the early days, you get married and that's it.
That's it.
Because
Full stop.
there's a lot of social stigma attached to being, and it reflects on the children. Today is a different story. So many people.
Is always,
Yeah. Today, if you can't get along, you divorce. It happens very, very frequently in the West. One good thing for us is very soon bands should start playing for divorces also.
Divorce parties.
Yeah.
That's another package that you can introduce.
Exactly.
Black will go very well with that, the color.
Yes.
We need to wrap things up on the show.
Diversify divorces.
Thank you for being on the show with me, guys. We will see you soon. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.